So there are two blanks, both are double blanks, and you have options and you'll have to choose. So what is your query, Ashish? Ma'am, putting all option one by one is feasible for getting correct answer. Since it takes some time to arrive on correct answer, or thinking for possible word in place of blank will lead to correct answer faster. Whoa. Okay, let me understand your question first. So this is a question, ma'am. Is putting all the options one by one feasible for getting correct answer, since it takes some time to arrive on correct answer? Yeah, if you do that way, yes, it will take some time. Or thinking for possible word in place of blank will lead to correct answer. So basically you're talking about substitution method here. Okay, I understood your query now. So you're saying, should we put one by one word? See, the best thing to do for a context like this is to quickly, we always do this, right? We look at words before and after the blank. So what do I have? Dash 2, right? I have to understand the context meaning, that's also there. Then I also need to make sure that in both these sentences, sentence 1 and 2, whichever option I'm selecting has to fit in, right? So, so keep in mind, there is a 2 for the first blank. In both the context, there is a 2 after the first blank. And then, yes. So let's quickly look at it. I mean, if I apply collocations, I always do that. I quickly apply collocations, right? I can say I'm taking option 1. Then I'm taking blank 1, right? For blank 1, if I go by collocation, limited is correct. But focused 2 is not correct, right? You focus on something. So I can't use this. I'll quickly eliminate this. Inclined to, yes. I can use inclined to as a collocation. Confined to, yes. And again, here directed to, I would rather say, you know, the more familiar collocations I'm familiar with is directed towards, maybe, or directed by, maybe, or directed at. But yeah, directed to also is a collocation, no problem. So I have, except option B, all the other options fit for the first blank, right? Now I move to the second blank, blank 2. I go back. So if I take option A, commemorating national leaders is usually limited to eulogizing their dash and dash. Working and achievements, working. So if I look at achievements, I know this is a noun form, right? I have a synonym hint word. Working is a verb form. I need another noun form. I will eliminate option A. I'm moving to C. Inclined to. First of all, just because inclined to is a collocation does not mean it fits the context, right? Meaningfully. Let's look at the context. There might be words that you may not follow. What does the meaning of commemorating means? Honoring. Honoring national leaders is usually dash to. Eulogizing means, what is the meaning of eulogizing? Praising. Formal praise, right? Praise formally. So now that you understand the context, they're saying honoring national leaders is usually, so in the context of honoring national leaders, what are some of the factors that are looked into? Now, some of the factors that are looked into are their something and achievements. Does business fit the context meaningfully? No, right? Not that all politicians are having a business. And inclined means, inclination means you're leaning towards that. Again, this is not the meaning that we need in the context, right? Leaning. So incorrect, again, out. Let's look at option D. Confined to means, yes, on the context of, in the sphere of what are all the factors that are looked into when we need to honor national leaders. Yeah, in that sense, confined to makes sense, right? Because here it's talking about in these boundaries, in these limitations. And personality is a noun. So obviously, imagine, right, if I have to honor somebody, I'll probably obviously look at the person that they are, right? So as a person, what is your personality emanating, right? If I look at you, it can be based on your characteristics. You will have certain character traits which will govern your behavior, right? So personality, and because of that personality, you're able to achieve something. That makes most sense. So the next one is directed and intelligence. Again, intelligence is not a very effective word in the second blank, right? So keep in mind, nobody honors somebody for their intelligence. People honor you for the accomplishments or the resultant action because of your intelligence, right? Because you're intelligent, you're able to show something outstanding, right? So logically, that's not the right fit. So obviously the answer has to be D. Yeah? Clear? So commemorating national leaders is usually confined to eulogizing their personality and achievements. Option D. Okay, let's move on. And if you look at the second context also, he has been confined to a wheelchair. He is restricted, right? In that context, that's what it means. Restricted, limited to, that is all his boundary is, right? Since childhood, which hindered the development of his personality. Logical. Okay, the first question is from Sai. Since we dash read every book, we dash only the famous ones. Okay, so let's look at it. Options, there are 5 options. Please explain. All right. Okay, let's apply a little bit of logic to this question, okay? Is it that we must read every book? No, not really, right? Just because somebody publishes a book doesn't mean we have to read it. We're not obligated to read every book. So must is, as a modal, I would not say is logical. Since we should as a modal again is the right thing to do. Is it the right thing to do, read every book? Not necessarily. Since we have read every book, we sold only the famous ones. Usually the opposite is what is logical, right? The tendency is to retain the famous ones. Why would you sell the famous ones? Even if you've read all the books, you would rather sell the not so famous ones. So this is also out. Since we can read every book, we purchase only the famous ones is just illogical. If you can read every book, then why purchase only the famous ones? You might as well purchase everything. So since we cannot read every book, which is logical, obviously we cannot read every book, we select only the famous ones, right? Fifth option though is completely contradicting and it doesn't have any meaning. It's giving a contrast meaning. And likewise is 4. So the only logical option is option 1. Okay. I dash him because of his dash. So I have the clue word because, which is my hint word for reason, cause. So the first step that I need to do is, in the 2 blanks, do I need words that carry the same meaning or words that are opposite in meaning? What do I need? Freedom of expression. 4. Okay. So step 1 is to understand that I need words of the same meaning, right? Because I dash him because the reason is the same. Because he is like this, I am like so. This is a pretty easy one. Everybody got it right? Because if you look at all the other options, everything are antonyms. Admire, why would you admire hypocrisy? Hypocrisy is a negative word. Why would you detest generosity? Generosity is a good thing. Why would you love impertinence? What's impertinence? Being insolent. Another word that we learned in our previous sessions. Insolent means being rude. So the only thing that is same in meaning is you can hate somebody because they are rude. So obviously it has to be option 4.